Picture a tiny speck of rock in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean. It has zero freshwater lakes, no flowing rivers, no fertile topsoil, and sits over 1,000 kilometers from the nearest continental mainland. To make matters worse, this isolated rock sits directly in the crosshairs of North Atlantic Hurricane Alley, taking catastrophic hits from Category 4 and 5 storms year after year. Geographically, it should be an abandoned, barren wasteland where human survival is virtually impossible. Yet this tiny island is home to roughly 64,000 people and consistently boasts a GDP per capita well over $100,000, ranking among the absolute wealthiest societies on the entire planet. But how did a population stranded on a resource-free limestone rock build a multi-trillion-dollar empire? The answer lies in how they turned their greatest existential nightmare into the most lucrative, high-stakes business model in human history. This is the unbelievable story of Bermuda. When most people hear the name Bermuda, they immediately imagine the Caribbean, swaying palm trees, shallow turquoise waters, and tropical island neighbors like Jamaica or the Bahamas. But this is a massive geographic misconception. Bermuda is nowhere near the Caribbean Sea. It sits entirely alone in the harsh North Atlantic. Its closest neighbor isn't another island, but Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, over 1,000 kilometers to the west. And if you sail straight east, you won't hit land for nearly 5,000 kilometers until reaching Morocco. The island is surrounded by the Sargasso Sea, the only sea on Earth with no land boundaries, defined entirely by ocean currents. Bermuda lies well north of the tropics, but it enjoys a warm climate thanks to the Gulf Stream, which acts as a massive geographic space heater flowing directly past its shores. So, how did this solitary landmass appear in the middle of nowhere? Deep beneath the surface lies an extinct underwater volcano known as the Bermuda Pedestal. Millions of years ago, lava built a mountain rising 15,000 feet from the seafloor. As it sank, coral reefs flourished on its rim, eventually compacting into solid limestone. When Spanish navigator Juan de Bermudez spotted the island in 1505, it was completely uninhabited. Hidden reefs tore wooden hulls to pieces, and eerie demonic shrieks echoed from the forests at night. The Spanish branded it the Isle of Devils and avoided it for an entire century, unaware the sounds were just native seabirds. Human settlement began entirely by accident in 1609, when the English ship Sea Venture was caught in a hurricane and intentionally driven into the reefs to prevent sinking. All 150 survivors reached the shore, but they immediately faced a life-or-death crisis: how to secure drinking water on a waterless rock. Their solution became an architectural masterpiece: stepped white limestone roofs. The steps slow down torrential rain, channeling every single drop into underground cisterns, while the white lime coating sanitizes the water and reflects the sun. Today, building codes legally mandate that every home must harvest its own rainwater this way. With water secured, the settlers faced an economic dead end. The shallow limestone soil couldn't support cash crops like tobacco, so they pivoted entirely to the ocean. Using the rot-resistant native Bermuda cedar, they engineered the Bermuda sloop, legendary, fast, and agile ships that outsailed everything on the water. Bermudians quickly dominated the regional salt trade and turned to privateering, state-sponsored piracy. For decades, the island's economy thrived on intercepting enemy merchant ships and seizing valuable cargo. But as the age of sail ended and piracy was outlawed, Bermuda once again stared down financial collapse. To survive, they leveraged a powerful geopolitical loophole. Bermuda remains a British overseas territory, but it is almost entirely self-governing. They design their own laws, manage their own budget, and set corporate income tax to zero, offering global capital British legal stability without the tax burden. Instead of becoming a generic offshore bank, Bermuda specialized in a high-stakes, multi-billion-dollar field, catastrophe reinsurance. In simple terms, reinsurance is insurance for insurance companies. It is the ultimate financial shock absorber that prevents the global economy from collapsing during extreme disasters. Imagine a massive Category 5 hurricane flattening coastal Florida. A local insurer might face 100,000 claims at once, triggering immediate bankruptcy. To survive, they transfer that risk to Bermuda. Today, Bermudian reinsurers pay out roughly 30% of all insured reconstruction claims following major U.S. hurricanes. This isn't reckless gambling, it's cold, calculated mathematics. Hamilton employs top climate scientists, meteorologists, and data analysts who build complex predictive models to price storm risks perfectly. As global warming increases the frequency and severity of hurricanes, insurers panic, driving the demand and premiums for Bermuda's risk coverage through the roof. However, this staggering macro wealth comes with a severe burden for everyday locals. Because Bermuda is a 54-square-kilometer rock with zero domestic manufacturing or agriculture, every drop of fuel, every car, and every single grocery item must cross hundreds of miles of open ocean by ship or plane. Extreme shipping logistics, combined with wealthy foreign executives driving up real estate, make Bermuda consistently rank as having the highest cost of living in the world. Earning $100,000 a year here doesn't make you wealthy. It barely keeps you in the middle class. Bermuda remains a brilliant geographic paradox. A land with zero resources that engineered its white roofs to capture the rain, built fast ships to conquer the sea, and mastered the global economy by pricing the very storms that threatened to wipe it off the map. Do you think relying on accelerating climate disasters is a sustainable economic foundation, or will nature eventually overwhelm the math? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden geography shaping our world.